Good evening, and welcome to our special presentation, Season of Giving. I'm Local 3's Rebecca Bartelme. In this show, we'll introduce you to different organizations, programs, and people who are giving back in our UP communities. We all know with the harsh winter months in the UP how cold it can get, and for some, it's difficult to affordably heat their homes. Brianna McLean introduces us to a group that's giving back to the elderly during the chilly months.
It's no secret that the Upper Peninsula has cold, snowy, and often harsh winters that last most months of the year. And when gas bills get too high and the only source of heat is a wood stove, a program out of Hancock offers free firewood assistance to those who need it most. Little Brothers Friends of the Elderly is a nonprofit, volunteer-based organization committed to relieving isolation and loneliness among the elderly. One of those many services includes their Firewood Assistance Program. Little Brothers has been providing wood to the elderly in the Houghton and Keweenaw counties for nearly 37 years now, and the program continues to grow. The program is year-round and survives off donations made by individuals and local logging companies. And here is Debbie Hart, the Firewood Assistance Coordinator, and a volunteer preparing to deliver a truckload to an elder. Debbie has been helping with this program for many years now. She makes sure those who receive assistance from the program are getting the correct length of wood.
Because there's no sense in delivering wood to somebody who can only take 14 inches, if we give them 18-inch wood. It's totally useless to them.
Right.
So I want to make sure, and when we get our elderly request firewood, I ask them what length wood they can take. Because everybody has a different size wood stove. So I just want to make sure that the wood that we deliver, the elderly can fit it into their wood stove. And it definitely gives you great satisfaction when you go and deliver a load of firewood and you see the appreciation that the elderly have for receiving the wood.
In the year 2018, a total of 358 volunteers cut, split, stacked, and delivered 160 truckloads of wood to the elders. Now there are nearly 107 elderly receiving firewood, with 34 of those being new elders this year. Randy Ilola is a 63-year-old retiree and has been receiving firewood from Little Brothers for 2 years now. His home has a propane broiler, but he says the price of fuel has gotten too expensive for him to pay. Therefore, his wood stove is a huge source of heat. Due to many injuries, it makes hard labor like cutting and stacking wood nearly impossible for Randy.
I hate to try to get out in the woods and cut wood. It's a lot with all the injuries I've had and everything, and this saves a lot of time. It's so grateful for it to having to have a wood pile out there.
With an increasing demand for firewood assistance, Little Brothers Friends of the Elderly are moving to a larger acred area next year. To find out how to donate or apply for assistance, you can visit their website at www.houghton.littlebrothers.org.
When we come back, we'll show you how one group is making hunting accessible to anyone. Welcome back to Season of Giving. The Thanksgiving holiday means a lot of hunters will be outside participating in their favorite sportsman activity. For some people who are older or living with a disability, that favorite pastime isn't always easy. I was able to tag along with the NOC Gobblers as they showed me their effort to make hunting accessible to anyone. If you think you can't hunt because of a disability or because you might not be able to move like you used to, you may be wrong. The NOC Gobblers, a chapter of the National Wild Turkey Federation, is able to make hunting happen for people with disabilities and veterans.
We did fishing, duck hunting, pheasant hunting, deer hunting, bear hunting, goose hunting. We did just about anything that you could do in the outdoors.
The NOC Gobblers use locations that are easily accessible and utilize Be Adaptive equipment, which is meant for people with physical disabilities to use when hunting.
So it was our ability to give those people that kind of access. Being by themselves, I know they all like to be sort of independent, but with a little bit of assistance, sometimes a lot of these guys can go a long ways.
Barry showed me what the experience was like as he took Leonard Myers, an Army veteran from 1954 to 1956 who resides at the DJ Jacobetti Home for Veterans deer hunting.
Took my basic at Leonardwood, Missouri. Then I went to Fort Sill, Oklahoma, artillery. We stayed there from January till August, and we went overseas to Japan, Camp Drake. At the peacetime, peace talks were going on at that time, so we didn't get to go to Korea, but we was ready to go.
Leonard told me about his deer hunting experiences in the past, and it was easy to see that he's no stranger to the sport.
My blind was a 5 foot by 9, and I made it myself. And it was insulated, porta potty, heater. I used to cook out there.
How clear that's going to be?
And I had 6-inch sliding windows. And never come back in unless I had a deer.
Barry showed Leonard how they would use the equipment to shoot a deer. Barry would line up the target, and when he was ready, Barry would wave his hand in front of Leonard to let him know to take a sip from a tube, which would be like pulling the trigger.
Sip on it. Sip on it.
Okay.
If you blow on it, it won't do anything but pull your cheeks out, okay?
Okay.
We only saw a doe on the trip, and Leonard wasn't able to bring back a buck, but it's all about the experience.
Leonard, I struck me as pretty interesting. You know, being an artillery man, I was in air and naval gunfire in the Marine Corps. Not quite the same thing, but sort of the same thing. And then his like for the hunting, you could see that he really liked his deer hunting. And basically people, they're sort of in that kind of deer hunting where they hunt from a deer blind, you know, established blind like that. We're not talking about somebody that went out in the woods and made themselves a little cubby in the woods. Now Leonard had already been to that point in life where he was shooting from a box, you know, so our kind of hunting really just allowed him the use of the rifle safely again.
And being a veteran himself, helping other veterans is very special to Barry.
So give back. What you say?
As we continue to explore ways our UP communities are giving back, we'll tell you about the Venison Project after the break. A major part of the holiday season is feeding our friends and family. Some people don't have the luxury of sitting around a large dining room table and eating hot and fresh food. There are many collections going on this time of year to feed the hungry. Local 3's Peter Curry shares a unique collection in Delta County.
The Memorial United Methodist Church in Gladstone started the Venison Project over 2 decades ago and continues to feed families across Delta County. The Venison Project is an organization for sport hunters who can't keep or don't eat meat. They can donate to local organizations that will process the meat, then donate it to pantries in Delta County to help feed those who can use an extra meal.
It was started 27 years ago by Barb Nemechek, and so far we've collected 32,000 pounds of venison.
Teresa Myers started working with the Venison Project 2 years ago. Now she dedicates a couple of hours, 5 to 6 days a week, by hanging up signs, doing television and radio interviews, and anything she can to help get the word out about the Venison Project.
The first year was a little rough. I didn't know much about advertising, so we didn't bring in much venison. But the second year I brought in 3,000 pounds, and now this year I'm shooting for 3,000, 4,000 pounds.
Each deer provides about 30 to 40 pounds of ground venison, so Teresa needs over 100 donated deer. Sutterman's in Brampton is one of 3 places hunters can take their harvest.
We have been doing the Venison Project for over 10 years now. The DNR had actually come and asked us about it, and we started doing it with them, and we've been doing it ever since. We take the whole deer, we grind it all up into 1-pound packages of burger, and then we have different agencies that come and pick it up, different food pantries that come and pick it up, and they sign some paperwork for us. And last year I know we donated over 1,500 pounds to the Venison Project. So.
Donating is easy, just drop it off.
All you gotta do, if you shoot a deer and you want to donate it for the Venison Project, you just bring it in, you let us know that you want to donate it, and we'll take care of everything from there. No charge at all with that.
From there, it's spread throughout the community.
Some of it goes to Salvation Army, and they distribute it like at their their lunches, you know. And then most of the remaining stuff goes to like St. Vincent, St. Paul, and they distribute as well. And in the past, when we've had extra, we have taken some downstate.
Collection runs through the end of December, which will keep Teresa busy. She says it's worth it to see the difference each donation makes.
Seeing people happy, people being able to eat, everyone is just so happy and excited. And then last year, I got letters from all three places thanking the church and myself for, doing all this, because it really made a lot of people happy.
After the break, we'll hear from a group that sings to people living in hospice care. Welcome back to Season of Giving. I'm at the Trillium Hospice House, which provides end-of-life care to their residents. It can be a challenging time, and Sail On Singers is a group that provides healing and comfort through music.
Easy, rest easy, let every trouble drift away. Easy, rest easy, love enfolds you and holds you safe.
We are a group who wants to make kindness audible, right? And I feel like it's an honor to be able to share with people who are crossing over in a way that they may be able to receive it, where they may not be able to receive greetings and kindness and warmth and compassion from people in other ways at certain points as they're crossing over on the threshold.
Drift away, easy, rest easy.
A woman named Patience who she's a singer and she's a nurse. She was singing to a patient on a regular basis, and the patient actually brought up that the patient had heard about a national group, an international group actually. It's called the Threshold Choirs, and they sing to people passing over. And so our patients got a CD of the singing, and she got the idea going, I think, talked to you, Corinne. Mm-hmm. And then Corinne invited me to come and sing, and that was over 5 years ago.
Holds you and holds you safe.
Beautiful. Very beautiful.
So many angels all around me. So many angels, it's you I see. So many angels.
As opposed to it being entertaining, it's more to provide comfort. And what I've seen, and the rest of the group too, I think, has seen it at times, is that people that are in hospice and getting toward the end of life, sometimes we'll go in the room and you may see that they're visibly agitated, maybe emotionally or physically or in pain or something like that. And sometimes we'll sit down and start singing, and you will see that person visibly calm, where there might be tremors or just whatever. All of a sudden they become very calm. And so it seems to affect different people different ways, but so many people have a connection with music that it takes them to a different place. This particular person, Margaret, we have been singing to her for quite a few months, and she is a hymn that we sing is one that she chose as one of her favorites, and so we rehearsed it, and so when we sing for her, we sing that hymn, and she's asked us before to sing patriotic songs, and so sometimes we add those things. So it can be kind of catered to, a specific request that a person might have, that they might, music that might be very close to their heart.
America, God shed His grace on thee, and
you sang along with us. Thank you, Margaret.
When we come back, how some people are spreading Christmas cheer for our troops. Many of us enjoy watching our loved ones open presents and find goodies in their stockings. But for troops serving overseas, it's a hard time when they're not surrounded by friends and family. Local 3's Isaiah Williams tells us about an effort to bring a little Christmas cheer to our troops.
Many families are preparing to spend the holidays together, but for those who serve our country, that's not always an option. Several volunteers from the First Presbyterian Church of Marquette are sending troops a taste of the holiday season.
All year we look forward to this. People from the community come and join us. Our congregation gathers in. We bring wish list items here, and we pack up a Christmas stocking for troops that are deployed overseas at Christmas time.
The First Presbyterian Church of Marquette has been hosting this event for the past 10 years, and Jacqueline tells me each year it gets better.
We get the responses back that they're just so pleased to have a little taste of home when they can't be home to enjoy it, and it's just us sending our love and cheer to them, knowing that they're away from their families at Christmas.
Each stocking is stuffed with snacks, hygiene products, and handwritten notes from volunteers. The group is set to send 100 stockings overseas this year. Tom Manson, a member of the First Presbyterian Church, says this event is especially important to him because his grandson is currently overseas.
I think getting something from home out of unexpectedly is always a treat. They'll go through this candy in about 2 minutes, I'm sure, and I'm sure they'll have a good time.
Manson says the community loves to spread joy and give back.
This community, I think, just as you look, everybody's working together, and it's kind of fun. And it's a thing you look forward to every year. It's interesting to see how well you can drum up goods for the troops to send over there, and that takes a little effort and time. It's well worth it.
Jacqueline ends by telling me,
Upper Peninsula residents are really generous, giving, caring individuals, and we get to share that love far, far away. Many people don't even know where the Upper Peninsula is on a map until they receive our Christmas stockings, so it's really fun.
Thank you for joining us for this special presentation, Season of Giving. I'm Rebecca Bartelme, and from all of us at Local 3, have a happy holiday season.